Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Florentin, and in this video I'm going to chat about 6 random non-musical topics. Well, I changed the strings on this guitar, so 6 strings, 6 random topics, and I'll try to cover each topic while I change that one string. Now if you watched, I think it was 2 videos ago, I recorded myself taking the strings off, cutting them off actually with a wire cutter, and playing music on fewer and fewer strings. I went to 4 strings and 3 strings and 2 strings and 1 string and no strings. So if you want to watch that video, I'll place the link at the top and also at the bottom in the description area of the video. Feel free to take a look. So 6 strings on the guitar. This is an Epiphone Pro 1 classical. This is the 2-inch wide neck. The nut is 2 inches wide. And I think they no longer make the 2 inches. I think they only make the 1.75, if I'm not mistaken. And I will have a link for this guitar in the bottom section if you want to take a look. And for this classroom instrument, I have about 15 of them in my classroom. I usually go with the D'Addario EJ27N. These are about $5, I think, $4.99, and still quite good and reliable. Good old D'Addario. This is not a sponsored video by any means. I just happen to like the brand. So I'll place the link for these strings as well down below. Take a look if you want. I'll start each topic. I'm also going to place timestamps in the description section of the video, also in the first comment if you want to just skip around. And these are random topics. I just wrote the title of on a piece of paper here on the side, and I don't know what I'm going to say about each topic. I did not pre-plan this. I literally stopped writing the list right before I pushed the record button here, and I'll just ramble about each topic quickly. I usually change the strings very fast at home on a countertop, like a flat surface. I have nothing here, so I'm holding the guitar on my lap, and I have a wire cutter and a string winder thing, and that's all I got. So I'm going to try to do this as fast as I possibly can. All right, so the first string is about to go on, and my first topic is coffee. How random is that? Speaking of, let's have a little sip of coffee so I can move very fast. This is my first string going into the saddle right now, into the bridge. Now coffee, I drink coffee, this is weird, every single day, and I think because I'm a school teacher, and because during the first 15 years or so of my current teaching position, we had one of those just basic coffee machines in the teacher's lounge, drip coffee machines, and it was a large one, like an industrial one, but it was just nothing fancy about it. It was just a drip coffee machine. And because of that, because I had coffee every single morning, that's my go-to coffee right now. Just cheap, inexpensive drip coffee. So my wife likes the espresso thing from Starbucks, and we don't buy it at Starbucks, it's expensive, but we do have a fancy schmancy coffee machine, espresso machine, so she does the whole thing at home. But I went to Walmart and got me a like $9 drip coffee machine, and that's my go-to. And here's my thermos. Every single day I go through one of these before I'm done teaching my classes. So first string is done. I'm not gonna tune it, okay? So first string is done, first topic is done. All right, so the second string, the B string, is about to go in, and the second topic is cars. All right, so cars, I don't know much about cars, but maybe I'll quickly talk about all the cars I've ever owned. the first thing I'd like to say is that, this is a weird position here, it's very awkward to hold it like this, is almost every car that I ever owned has been a stick shift car, a manual transmission car. If you don't know what that is, there's a stick in the middle and you have a clutch pedal. And I grew up in Eastern Europe, so as a kid I did get to drive a couple of times, but not a lot. So that was my first experience with a car, and I remember stalling it and restarting it, and that was quite interesting. Now, when I came to the States, my very first car was an automatic car because it was a gift. But then almost every car after that, my first car after that was a Ford Probe. Remember those? And that was a stick. And then I had a Ford Focus, which was automatic, which I hated. But then I had a Nissan Versa and a Toyota Corolla. And my current car is a Nissan Versa. I drove 2 Versas in a row. One of them was totaled. And the one that I currently have is also a Versa, and both of them were stick shift. And that's that. Go stick shift. My second string is done. And here's my third string. The topic on money. I would need to go like 3 or 4 strings for this one because it's a tough topic. But I'll make it quick and simple. I don't have a lot of money. I would say that maybe I'm going to share 3 books that really shaped my thinking about money. Of course, I'm a born-again Christian, so the Bible is obviously a book that shaped my thinking about money. But aside from the Bible, I would name 2 or 3 books that over the years have shaped my thinking about money. And one of them is, I bought this at a garage sale, so the seller was making fun of me. This was about 15, 20 years ago. It's a book called The Millionaire Next Door. And what I liked about that book was that he talked about normal ways to retire wealthy. Normal ways in which people with normal jobs, like a school teacher, like an engineer, like a truck driver, whatever, could become wealthy by retirement's age. And the second book would be The Total Money Makeover. I like Dave Ramsey. I don't follow his plans completely, but my wife and I are trying to go debt free, and it's been working really well so far. We're just not there yet. The school loans are killing me. And the third book I would say is The Intelligent Investor. I am dabbling a little bit with investing, so I would recommend that really a lot. And I think that my third string is done. And here's my fourth string, and this one's going in. The topic is Super Bowl. Oh my goodness, I'm not a big football person, but we were all at home last night and we all watched the entire thing, the whole Super Bowl. The one thing that stood out, I enjoyed it. The halftime show was all right. It was decent this time around, nothing indecent there, so that was awesome, because there's kids watching and stuff. So the one thing that kind of stuck with me was the roughness with which the players engaged each other, and some of them even received the warning, unnecessary roughness. And what kind of stood up to me as I was watching the game was how quickly they got over it, right? So somebody pushing you over, and even on purpose, but how quickly all these players would simply get up and just move on, almost as if nothing had happened. And that was kind of a good life lesson right there. People push us around and life kicks us in the butt sometimes. And for us to be able to kind of get up and kind of move on and not hold a grudge, I guess. So that stood out for me while watching the Super Bowl. And here's my fifth string, the A string. This one's going in. The fifth topic is YouTube, none other than YouTube. The one thing that I would say, whether you like YouTube or not, whether you post on YouTube or not, I would say the one thing that I keep reminding myself all the time is that YouTube will certainly not be there forever. Remember MySpace? Any of you old enough to remember MySpace? That was like, I don't know, 25 years ago or so, when MySpace was this big deal. Everybody's on MySpace and sharing stuff. And obviously, I think it's still there, but who uses it, right? Remember High Five? Is that what it was called, High Five? I mean, I think that in some ways, YouTube is probably much bigger than those platforms ever were, but still something to keep in mind that no matter how much we enjoy YouTube or how much success we have on it or not, YouTube is probably not going to be there forever. So if you're going to keep sharing your stuff with people, try to use other platforms as well. Fifth string is done. And here's my sixth string. Now usually this one takes me the least amount of time, so I picked a topic that I wouldn't have to talk about for a long time, because it's a topic that I don't really like. Politics. Oh my goodness. Here's my string. Politics. So I'm 47 years old, and I totally love the country that we live in. I'm an immigrant. I'm a legal immigrant. I'm an American citizen now. I've been a citizen for 25 years or so. I would say that, for me at least, the farthest away I stay from politics, especially political shows like TV shows or radio shows, the more inner peace you can hold on to, right? Because the moment people start talking about politics and politicians and this politician and that politician, you just kind of, it's a downslope for me. It's like very discouraging. Of course, we forget that all these politicians are imperfect like you and I, but just generally speaking, for me, the farthest away I stay from politics, the better and the more peace in my heart and mind. So I think I'm done. Now my guitar is not tuned. I'm not going to take the time to really tune it, because what I do, I kind of stretch the strings all the way out, and I don't have perfect pitch, and I'm not about to open a tuner right now. I'm going to assume that this is close to an E. Those of you with perfect pitch can let me know if this was close to it. Maybe I can check in a minute. And then I kind of tune each string kind of close to being in tune. And I just let it stretch for an hour or two. And then I do it again, and then in a few hours, it should be fine. So let me see how close I can get to an E. I would say that to my imperfect pitch ear, this is the E, but I think I'm flat, so I won't even pretend. So let me get a tuner out and find out how close I am. So I'm gonna go, before I look at the tuner, I'm gonna go up. But it sounds like an F though, so I'm gonna stick to this. So let me see. Okay, here's the app I'm using right now. Let's see. I'm actually very close. I'm just a little bit sharp there. So I was right before. Hold on. Oh, I'm gonna brag to my son about this. He has perfect pitch. I don't think. I think I'm pretty close. The strings are still stretching, especially this second one for some reason. I'm not even gonna bother with the tuner right now. So let's see. I think that's close enough. I'll let this stretch out for a little bit and tune again, and then I'll be okay in a few hours. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to write them at the bottom. See you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.